Good afternoon. I am Valerie R. Austin, the author of the Student's Comprehensive Guide for College and Other Life Lessons. I wrote the book to assist high school students and their parents to navigate the journey of careers in college. I am also the host of the Employer Speaks series, which is designed to highlight different careers and the path to achieving those careers. Today, I have two very special guests. Notary Beckford and Sean Atkinson are small business owners and entrepreneurs. Since their incarceration and release from prison many years ago, they have become the ideal role models for second chances. After release from prison, Notary started his first company named Beckford Trucking LLC. Since 2021, however, Notary is the owner and founder of the record label Paper Bag Cartel, also known as PBC and LLC. Notary is a rapper whose stage name is Bags, aka Big Hefe, who has produced the single Chain Gang. He also speaks to groups about his experiences and successes to inspire, lead, and ignite positive change. Sean Atkinson is the Chief Operating Officer for PBC. He is also a cosmetologist, landscaper, electrician, and plumber. Sean learned many of these career skills while in prison. He has translated his skills and talents to successfully operate in the business world. Both professionals are business builders and leaders. Through hard work and dedication, Notary and Sean have overcome obstacles to repeatedly turn creative ideas into successful business strategies. I look forward to this discussion with Notary and Sean to explore their path to success while thriving in the exciting career of entrepreneurship. Thank you for watching. I'm going to ask you this, Notary, in terms of, according to Brookings.edu, I give a lot of statistics. Almost half of ex-prisoners who have no reported earnings in the first several years after leaving prison. All those who do find work have earned less than $10,000 a year or less than a full-time job at minimum wage. What does a full-time stable employment, what does that do with the living wage mean to formerly incarcerated people?
That a stable income, it really helps. It really does help a person that comes out of prison. But one thing I always, like I said, I always keep everything 100. And one thing, a lot of people that get out of prison, they use a crutch. They always hard out here, can't find no. That is a lie. That is a lie. You can find a job. You gonna get a job. You can get a job. Like that stigma, that the old saying, oh yeah, I've been to prison, it's hard to get. No, that's an excuse, a reason why you don't want to get off your behind and make it happen. But as far as having a stable job, having a stable income, for a person out of prison, you used to a routine. You used to someone telling you what to do. You used to having certain stuff. You know what I mean? Especially if you've been in there for a while.
Very regimented.
Yeah, you used to a regiment. So, and you get out and you don't have that regiment. You liable to go and you don't know what to do. Like it happened with me when I first got out after doing 10 years. Like I was so used to on time get up at 3 o'clock in the morning for breakfast, 10 o'clock for lunch, and having to do this. So now I don't have nobody over me telling me what to do. And I'm like, man, what am I supposed to do? You know? But if you got a job, it'll keep you in the flow. It'll give you that consistency, that regiment. You going to work. It's kind of a routine as well.
Okay, so routine, and also you get paid so you can live, basically.
Exactly.
All right. So let me ask you this, Sean. With a criminal record, is there a constant pressure to prove yourself to employers and communities, even though you served your time and fulfilled the obligation of your sentence? You've already touched on that a little bit, but would you like to draw on that a little bit more? Is there a constant pressure for you to say, well, I got to prove myself. I am honest. I am loyal. What do you say to that?
I let my work speak for itself. When I let my work speak for itself, like going to a job, I do a job, and then once they see this job is done correctly, and they were like, oh, this individual's doing it. Next thing you know, in 3 weeks, I got a raise. And then next thing you know, 3 more weeks, I got another raise. The next week, and then you look at it, I got another raise, and you be like, oh, okay. Now you starting to see. But like you said, getting to that point is like I have to prove myself all over again. and I just didn't like that process. So that's what made me start working for myself and start going to business for myself. And because I shouldn't have to keep proving myself to this person or this. And and that's why when I do work, I don't do the work for the money, because I know I'm going to get paid for my work because I do it right the first time. I don't have to do it right the second time or the third time. And my business is always like with me and Tori, we got our music business. Okay, that's just one business. But then I do side work, tree work, and all different. That I do that's side work, because then that you look at it, that's what pays the bill. And I just looked at I just do everything right the first time, and everything's word of mouth. And it can get to the point to where I don't have to advertise no more. It is like, hey, call this guy, call this dude, this guy right here, this he gonna do it. And just a job I did 2 days ago. It's so crazy that this lady, she was born in 1951. Her name is Miss Ruth. A guy came by and installed some security cameras for her. And she was like, and I was telling her, I said, hey, I do this, I do this, I do this. And she, oh, you do security camera? I said, yes, ma'am. She's, I need you to check my system out. This guy actually went to this lady house, got the cameras, put them up, and then charged this lady and didn't even hook nothing up. And I looked at the system. I said, there's nothing hooked up. And I said, did you pay for this? She was like, yes. I said, ma'am, I'll be back. Just give me about an hour. I'll be back and I'll hook your system all right. She said, oh, how much you gonna charge? And I didn't charge her much for the system, because it's like me fixing somebody else's problem. But she was just so thankful that I hooked the system up right and I did it right. And then now she's something more business my way. Just for being honest. Like I can't do a job and not be honest.
True. And there are so many people who lose that in terms of customer service. Not only means being there on time, doing the job, doing it right. That's basically what that is. All right. And that's a terrible circumstance for her, but thank God you were in her corner there. Now, let me ask you this, Notary. There are over 33 states have what's called ban the box, where the legislation removes the box on the job applications that require applicants to disclose criminal records. It's supposed to open the door for more formerly incarcerated people to get in, at least the interview. Is it a practical solution? Because the individual employer can still ask the question, have you ever been incarcerated? They don't have to have a box, but they can ask that question.
Yeah, exactly. To me, it really doesn't matter whether it is there or not there, because an employee, like you say, if it's there for you to check it or whether it's not there, they're gonna ask you in the interview anyway, and they're gonna make their decision based off, based off of that. And that's why, like I say, that's why one thing I did was learn multiple languages, because for that reason, like, how can I have an advantage? Oh yeah, I got an X on my record for being in prison, but if I go to this job and I can speak Spanish and this guy can't speak Spanish, I might have one up. That was my mind frame. That's why I learned how to speak Spanish fluently while I was in there, for that reason. But as for that box checking, it's practical, like you said. It's that rhythm, because they can ask.
Okay. And what I liked about your answer was, for young adults, if they understand that if you have a skill, a language, being able to be a concrete layer or having your degree, it makes you more marketable than if you just have a high school diploma, because everybody has a high school diploma at least, or they should if they didn't graduate. That's an issue, but you need to have something that sets you apart from other people. And I think a lot of young people need to know that. Now, let me ask you this, and I'll go to Sean. They have something called expunging of records, sunsetting of records, whereby after a certain time period, the criminal record is erased. And I don't know, maybe 10 years, maybe 12 years, depending on the crime. How can policies such as that smooth the transition from prison back to society? Or is it something that should happen? Should everybody know? Because it's like a stigma for the rest of your life. Should everybody know that you have a criminal record? What do you think?
I feel like they just probably, like, I don't know. That's that question there. Because I know for me, I can't speak for no one else. I know being in Florida, um, applying for jobs, or you look me up in Florida, everything pops up about me in Florida.
Mm.
And I
The
moved to
internet.
Georgia. Yeah, and I moved to Georgia, and like you said, when you apply for the job and you check this box, so I checked the box and nothing came up, and they was like, "Hey, what are you talking about?" So I said, "Don't worry." Like like okay, don't I didn't mean to check that box, because then now it's like nothing came up, and then I had to realize, I was like, oh, I'm in a whole different state. So then now it's a different opportunity for me, because I'm not in Florida no more. I'm in Georgia, and that gave me more opportunity to be able to keep moving forward, because then now I kept like, okay, now if certain jobs won't hire you because of this crime or this, but it goes by state, unless you have like a real violent crime. Like just 2 weeks ago, I applied for my TWIC card, and I could work at the Georgia. I could work at Georgia ports. I could work California ports. I could work Louisiana ports. I could work around marine ships, and I just found out that I could use my TWIC card as a passport to actually at the TSA clearance. And I was like, that's a good opportunity for me, because a lot of people can't get a TWIC card, and a TWIC card is I forgot the initials or what it is,
What
but
does it do for you though?
it gives you clearance to go on the ports.
Well, let me ask you this, and I'll stay with you for a moment, Sean. Some people can't leave; they have probation, so they're stuck in that state. What do you do then if you have a criminal record and they don't have a ban the box? Or
If you got a criminal record, or you can't, I look at it, talk to your probation officer, because everything is about communication. Because if you don't know, then you'll be stuck. Because a lot of people always be like, "Oh, I'm on probation, I can't go." No, I can't go for that, because I was on probation at one time, and I communicated with my probation officer. As long as you let them know, "Hey, I'll be at this so location. Oh, I'll be at this, and I'll be back at this location. I got a job over here. I got a job over here." It's all about communication. So it's just you have to ask questions. If you don't ask the question, then you won't know.
and the probation officer, because it is a vulnerable population, they need to be supportive versus being very stringent and very, you can't go anywhere, because then you prevent them from getting employment. Notary, you had something you wanted to say?
Yeah, as far as the expungement, when you was talking, you was saying that it was free because expungement costs. Like it's nothing. It's not free. Your record just don't disappear after I don't care how long time. It's no expense. You have to pay to get your record expunged, and that's what I'm in the process. And you can only do one. Like so, if you got multiple, 2 or 3, you can only get one expunged. So all the other ones don't stay on there.
And I was wondering about that in terms of, should it be something that should be free? If you're a citizen for, and I just threw that out there, 10 years, let's for example, no return to any life of crime, depending on the first crime.
Yeah,
be something that's free that you can apply.
If after 10 years or something, it should just automatically. I feel like it should fall off, but a lot of people can't wait 10 years, because you know what I mean. It's a lot of jobs. So if I go ahead and you pay the lawyer, you get expunged 2 years after that, you can say like you've been out, you done been 10 years, but you've been out for 2 years. You can say you've never been I've never been a felon. You know, if you get it expunged sooner. But if you have to wait 10 years, it's like 10 years worth of jobs you're missing out on if you got to wait that long.
Okay. So it's worthwhile for at least the politicians, for the advocacy groups, for those who've been formerly incarcerated to look at and see what would be a workable solution. All right, well, I'm going to go to Notary. According to one report, 3.8% of small business owners have a criminal record. However, with little work experience, limited financial means, many persons with a criminal record cannot find employment. We just talked about that, to make a living. Despite some of the challenges with owning a business, we talked about those challenges. Is entrepreneurship an appropriate avenue when employment is difficult to obtain?
It is, if you can do it, because it's not easily to just say you need some kind of capital, some kind of money to start a business. So you can't just, because if you ain't got no job, you can't just say, I'm going to start my own business, but where's the finance, where the startup capital going to come from? You need some kind of money coming in to be able to start your own, to be an entrepreneur. But I would encourage entrepreneurship over everything. You know, if that's something that you want, like you say, it have to be something that's inside of you to really want. Some people are meant to be worker bees. Some people are meant to have office jobs. You know what I mean? They come to they, but I would definitely, if you can't find a job, I would definitely encourage entrepreneurship. If you can't find a job, find a skill that you want to pursue, go to vocational school, master that trade, then, you know what I mean, branch off and get.
You did mention that some people are meant to be worker bees. Some people are meant to work. Now, there's some companies such as Amco, Embassy Suites, Walmart, that do seek out those who are formerly incarcerated. And the reason why they do that is that when they provide this employment, they're tapping into a pool of labor consisting of usually reliable and loyal workers. So Sean, I'm gonna direct this to you. How can employers help with providing support to formerly incarcerated individuals? Talk about getting a job, but what can they do to make it a lot easier?
Give them a chance. Don't look at the application, oh, he's a felon, and okay, like this, or just throw the application away. Because most jobs, they'll look at your charge, look at that you're a felon, and just don't even go through with the interview process, and not even before they get to know that person. Because you could do some stuff that you back, 12, 13 years old, you're older now, and you look at it, you're just like, hey, that was years ago. Why is you still holding this against me? Because now I'm way older now. I'm not doing the same thing I used to do 20 or 30 years ago. But that's what's wrong with the system now. They hold something that against you way back in the days, and you be like, really? Like, are we really doing this right now? Like, that was when I was younger. Like, why are we doing this right now? But like I said, I just feel like that the system and the employers should give people a chance. And I feel like once you give them that chance, it's up to them. Let them mess that chance up or do right. Don't just not give that person a chance. I believe everybody deserves a chance. And I respect everybody's job. And jobs are, like you said, are jobs. People look at a person working at a Burger King or McDonald's, be like, oh, that, no. I respect people that they get up, they working, because without them, how would you go to the drive-thru and order your food or this right here? Everybody is due to respect. Give it that everybody's due to respect. Everybody's doing their job, because not right now, if a person doesn't get up and do their job, let's just say the whole world lays down and be like, I don't want to get up this morning and do my job. How is the world going to run? How is everything going to be like in order? So just everybody home. That's just my thoughts on that. Well, give everybody a chance.
Well, truth be told, we saw that during the pandemic, when people weren't able to go to work and the world shut down. We saw that. That's how you had the rise of Amazon and Walmart, because people had to deliver in, that people weren't, and we still having that with personnel shortages. So what you're saying is correct. Every job, from CEO down to the worker, needs respect. All right. Would you like to say something about that?
You just said something, and I just about shortages on the job, and we still having shortages, right? And I was just talking to a friend of mine, and it's like a nationwide shortages on like employees, because so many people starting their own business, and now people are wising up and seeing that, hey, why am I going to spend all this time on this person's job, making them rich and doing all this? And everybody's not just stuck in that rat race. You know what I mean? Everybody's starting to say, okay, let me start my own. Oh, I see how they doing it now. It's more than people learning how to do it now. You know, a lot of people ain't know how easy, they're not easy, but a lot of people ain't know the process or things to do to get it. But and now it's a shortage on employees because everybody's starting their own business. Everybody want to be doing it entrepreneurial.
And they can do it at home, truth be told. And yeah,
exactly.
I think they call it the Great Resignation. So I understand. Understand that one. All right, so I'm gonna turn it to Notary, and we're counting down here. Only a couple more questions. We're counting down, but I'm gonna ask you this question. RAP can offer a platform for people to educate those who are not aware of pressing, dangerous issues. We have Kendrick Lamar, Erykah Badu, Nipsey Hussle, Common, Lauryn Hill. and Tupac Shakur are examples of artists who have used their lyrics to call for change within their communities and comment on hostile external forces. With your platform of influence for PBC, in what ways do you try to make a positive impact on your community and society? How do you try to do that?
It's so crazy that you saying this. I'm currently on working on a project right now. My name is Notori, right? So my project is called Notorious 3 Pac, because people say that I'm like Tupac and Biggie put together. Like, I do storytelling so good like Biggie, but I attack those like serious issues like Tupac did, you know. And if people can, I'm on Spotify, check it out. Bags, that's B-A-D, aka Big Cafe. And I have a song, it's called it's coming out, it's called Elevation. And I make sure I'm gonna send it to you. As a matter of fact, if we can, I'm gonna get your email address and I want to send you this song. It's so inspirational. I got a lot of stuff that's really talking about what's going on. Like you say, I use my platform for that purpose, to get people to understand you don't have to be thugs 24/7. God said in the Bible, it's a time and a place for all things. Like, I'm not telling people, oh, don't ever do. No, it's a time and a place where you have to turn up. But people want to be thugs 24/7. Like, that's you don't have to do that. You don't have to resort to beefing or violence as soon as somebody don't like what you're saying or something like that. No, let's talk about it like men. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, how could I get mad at you for not liking my music? That's an opinion. Like, a lot of people get trapped up and getting mad over a person's opinion. You know what I mean? Like, I can't have an opinion. And especially with the music, the rap nowadays, as soon as somebody, oh, I don't like your song. Oh, you don't like my song? Now you want to come shoot up the block because you don't like my song. And it don't take that. Let's just sit down. A lot of stuff that's happening could be solved or could be put to end with a grown man conversation. A lot of people would still be alive right now if you just had a grown man conversation.
Well, I'm gonna say grown man and woman conversation.
Grown man and woman.
and if we can apply that to politics between the Democrats and Republicans, I think we would get a lot of things solved. So I what you're saying. I understand.
I promise. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I like that. So now I'm going to take a complete 180 degree, because I have to ask this question. So, and I'm asking some notary. I am. Wait for it. Many people are curious about the reasons in general of why some men wear their pants pulled down below their underwear. And I noticed that was your style choice in Chain Gang. What's the reason for the practice?
And you know what's so crazy about that, Valerie, is I don't even like wearing my pants down like that no more. It is crazy, like, to know the origin of where it comes from, and it's a fad, and that's all it's been. And you're not gonna change the fad. Like, people, I tell dudes now, because nowadays they have them way down. You know what I mean?
They can't run. They can't do anything. Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, and I'm like, bro, if you knew the original, because that started in prison.
And actually, that's one scenario. But I also was told because the clothes are so big that the pants fell down, because you're not allowed to have belts. I heard that one was the reason why. But I was just wondering from your perspective. Okay.
But, yeah. So. Yeah, but it's a fad. And like I say, I grew up doing it, but I don't do it no more. If I do have it, it'll be just off my waist a little bit. It won't be up under my butt. You know, I'm still not comfortable with pants directly on my waist. I have never been comfortable with it like that.
Okay. And plus you have a lot of hip hop artists from the 1990s that sort of started it too. So, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we'll move on from that one. Now I'm going to ask this of both of you guys. What is your advice to those high school or undergraduate college students who may be tempted to commit a crime and open themselves to possible jail or prison time? Well, either one of you can address that.
Well, I would say be prepared for a hard time. Like, in your mind, before you make a crime, before you think about committing a crime, just know that every day, every single day, you're gonna be fighting for your life. You're gonna have to have knives. You're gonna have to watch your back in the shower. You're gonna have to be subjected to inhumane treatment by officers spitting on you. You can't tell nobody. You can't do nothing. This is it's real. Do not do it. I promise you. I wouldn't even wish prison on my worst enemy. And I'm not saying that because a lot of people say it, but I know how bad it is in there. And if I can prevent anybody from going down my path, I would tell you, do not do it. It's not worth the loss of your family members that you're gonna lose from being in prison. I was in prison 10 years. I lost both my grandparents. I lost cousins. I lost the time that you can't make that time back up. I went to prison. My little sisters was 5. I got out of prison. They're 16, 17 now. You're gonna miss all that, and it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt. Now, if it don't hurt physically, it's definitely gonna hurt you emotionally and psychologically.
Okay, the loss is something, and also the loss of choice, family,
exactly,
support. Okay. What about you, Sean? What do you say?
And this is off topic, literally off topic. People need to be heard out here. People need somebody to talk to. I feel like there's so much frustration that's built up in people that they don't have nobody to talk to, and then that's what makes them do certain things. But that's why if a person thinks about doing a crime or going out and just doing wrong, I feel like don't do it. Just ask yourself, is this really worth it? Do I want to sit down the rest of my life and have to say my DC number every day? Like every day we got a DC number. It starts with a 0. 0 is your first time in prison. And then if you get an A, it goes by alphabet. So if 0 is what I had a 0, X58564. And then if I were to go back to prison again, then my number would be A X58564, which I'm not going, knock on wood. And then let's just say if it goes to B, that means you've been in prison 3 times. And then let's say it goes to C, you've been in prison 4 times. So I got a 0, and I'm not going back. I'm not going back to prison. And we have to say this every day before we go to sleep. And that's how we look at, we remember it. And if you want to lose the privilege to getting up, going to the refrigerator, getting something to drink, if you want to miss the privilege of even taking a bath, if you want to miss the privilege of just going to a store or going to the beach, that's over with. So if you want to miss all that, driving, doing all that, this, that, okay, then go ahead and commit that crime, because you're gonna miss all that. And if you don't have no kids or whatever, this, that, how you gonna raise your kids from prison? It's people that do it, but it's just like it's a different feeling from being there. Time, you can't get time back. Mm-hmm. Once time is rolling, time is going. Time don't wait on nobody. So you look at it, being in prison and you get sentenced to this time. Now you look at it, okay, all this is wasted time. It's wasted time, because you could be actually living your life than just being somewhere and being stuck. Because like you said, Notorious said, if you don't have no support system, you're lost in the system. They just say you're a nobody. All you are is a number. That's it. So my thing is, to the younger generation, listen to somebody who's telling you right. And that's one thing I see when somebody's telling something right. It seems like that you have a lot of talk back with the younger generation. But when you're telling them wrong, yeah, and then when you tell them wrong, it seems like they want to listen to the person that want to see you do right. Be around the people that want to see you do right. My mom and dad always used to say this. Used to say this right here. It's like, all your friends are not your friends. And I never used to grasp that. And I was just like, now I see it. And I'm looking like, okay, because when I went to prison, all the friends that used to go out and hang out there, where are they at? Where? Where? I didn't see nobody. You know what I'm saying? And I look back and laugh at it now, because it's like, wow, I see it. And then now, me being in the position I am now, I don't want that person or any individual be like, hey, I know you now. No, just keep that same energy. Just like, because me and Tori, who was down at the bottom, he stepped right next to me. And all we could do is just talk about thoughts of when we get out. building a future for when we get out. Because it ain't like we just like, okay, we're gonna get out, we're gonna start committing crimes when we get out. No, we set and we built and just like I said, just you have to just be focused, man. It's not easy out here in this world. I don't care what nobody say. You be like, oh yeah, it's a cakewalk. No, it's not. You have to every day. You just have to stay focused and keep going. And like I said, it just society has to do better. And what happened in New York, that's a tragic. And I'm just
But
and that's
the
a whole,
shooter,
yeah,
the
that's
grown man shooter, who they referring to as 18-year-old, but he's a grown man shooter.
a grown man. And then now you look at it, and it's just we could go into details and everything about it, but that would have been a black man. That the whole scenario would have been different. It would have been different. So it's just like we just have to stay focused out here and just keep moving forward.
So in other words, have a dream, discover, research the path to that dream. Hopefully you'll have a support system. Don't listen to others if they are naysayers, but try the golden rule. My mother and father told me not everyone has your best interests at heart. You do need a support system. So you want people who are loyal, who are trustworthy, who are reliable in your life. And if you don't have people like that, try and look for the mentors who might be able to do that for you. Now, I have a question that says, what would you tell the people who are incarcerated now about your second chance? And if you could keep that one brief, I would appreciate it. What would you tell them now about that second chance? You have to get out first, but what would you tell them?
You have a second chance, take it. A lot of people don't have a second chance. I was playing chess with this old guy, and he said, man, you finna get out, and not knowing that he had a life sentence. Mm-hmm. And he was like, I've been here since I was 15 years old, and he was like 50 something. And as I'm playing, I'm just like, I'm ready to get up and, you know what I'm saying? Because you got nothing to lose. I could go home. And I'm just, in my mind, it's like, man, I don't want to play this guy no more. But then he was speaking, and he was just like, you have a second chance. Go out and do the right thing. And I would never forget that playing him, because he said, this is my life. I'm never getting out. And I've been here he's been here for almost 40 years, man. I just couldn't believe it, man. I'm just like, and I couldn't believe it. Like, really? Here 40 years? No. I can't believe that.
Notary?
What I would tell currently incarcerated inmates right now about when you get out, be strong mentally. Like, life is gonna hit you fast. Bills is gonna come. The payment, like, stuff is gonna come. Right now, you have no bills. You medical free. Everything free on there. But when you get out of here, you got to be mentally strong, and you got to have perseverance. You can't give up quick. You can't just go back and resort to what you're familiar with, because you're gonna be right back in prison. You have to go with the uncomfortable. You have to get out your comfort zone. You have to leave from where you're from, go somewhere else, even if you have to do that to start a whole nother life somewhere else, if that's possible. But my most important thing is don't give up. Don't go back to your comfort zone, because your comfort zone is what put you in prison.
All right.
And surround yourself around positive people.
That one is true of everyone. This is true. Those who are going to support you, those who can see your vision, that right-hand man like COO Sean to Notary.
My God.
I understand completely what you're saying. Now, this is my last question. And it's for both of you. Please summarize what benefits and opportunities come from being an entrepreneur and business owner that someone cannot achieve working for someone else. That's what you guys have done. What are those benefits and opportunities? And I'll start off with Notary.
The biggest benefit and opportunity for me, being that I've learned, is the time. You work on your own time. And it's a lot. You're just gonna be working. It's a lot of time. You're gonna have to put in a lot of work, but you work at your own time. You don't have to worry about being at the job at 7 o'clock when you get a point or something on your dock. you know, you work up at 10 o'clock, you just know you're gonna have to work till 10 o'clock that night. You know, and the being able to be with your family and actually doing what it is that you want to do. It's yours. It's nothing like the feeling of this is mine. You know what I mean? That's the biggest opportunity. That's the biggest enjoyment of knowing that, hey, this is, I'm putting this out in the world and people are enjoying it, or this is mine. I can move how I want to move. You know, that's the biggest thing to me.
All right. And Sean, what about you?
Yeah, the biggest thing is to be able to, like you said, live and be able to move how you want to move at the same time still making money. Because like even after this interview, I'm going to work and I'm going to, I got me a 2-hour job. I'm gonna go real quick, and then like if I was on an 8-hour clock or a 12-hour clock, then I wouldn't have that opportunity. And my friend Zach, I want to give a shout out to my friend Zach and my friend Mike. They always just tell me, I used to come with them with my ideas, and I used to be like, hey, what do you think about this? Hey, what do you think about this? And Mike, he told me, he was like, your ideas ain't no good over here. You might as well go out and do it, because like, why are you telling me this? Go do it. And I'm just like, man, you right, man. So, and I went and did it, and it's just like, it's blossoming. And same thing Zach used to tell me. Zach always used to tell me, he said, hey man, just go out and do it. Just be confident. Just keep going. Just go out and do it. And I got you. And I'm going to support you. Whatever you need. If you need help, I'm here. And like you said, support system is always good to have, because it's harder not having a support system. Everybody always say, "Oh, I did it by myself. I did it." No, you didn't. Because you didn't. Because how did your mom or your dad fed you for you to be able to eat while you was a child, or how everybody has some type of help somewhere in life. So there's no
shout out to them, like you stated, a couple of teachers there.
Yeah, everybody. That's yep. Shout out to everybody that helped me get to where I'm at now, and I'm thankful, because I want to be who I am now, and for the positives.
All right. Well, all I can say to you, business owners, entrepreneurs, professionals, it has been a pleasure having you on Employer Speaks. You have given me insights about what it takes to run successful businesses. You have given me food for thought for what it means to be formerly incarcerated and not letting obstacles, challenges, which is the same word, but they can be big or small, to reach where your goal wants you to be, where you want to be in terms of your pathway. So I applaud you, because you were speaking truth. You were speaking truth. So this is the last couple of minutes of the interview. Do you have anything that you want to say? Anything? And I'll start off with Notary. Oh, well, I'll start off with Sean, since he sold up the shirt.
Yeah, we got shirts, we got bags, we got material, and like you said, you have to reach out the contact information, reach out to Mr. Notori, and like you said, we got shirts, bags, and everything that we have to sell as in shirts, and that's all I gotta say.
All right. Hey, always the marketer. That's what I'm talking about. What about you, Notori?
Yeah, I want to thank you for giving us this opportunity to be able to, you know, tell us some of our story, you know, and I want to thank everybody who tuned in and watching it. But you can follow the movement. Check me out on Instagram at Bags. That's BAG, 3 Z's and the number 33. I got my website, bags33.com. I'm on Spotify. All my music out on Spotify, and I promise you're gonna love it. If you don't love the music, I pay you if you don't like it. I'm that good. I got a message. I got a real story. I did the decade. So that's all I want to say. Thank you, Valerie. We appreciate the opportunity, and hopefully, again, we'll come back again in the future.
Okay, it sounds like a plan, but I have to say, as a program note, for young people below 18 years of age, for Chain Gang, viewer discretion is advised. So I just want to say that. I want to say that. Okay, hey kids, ask your parent, but I think your parents don't say no. I just want to say that.
And another thing too, because one of my as a matter of fact, my wife, she's like, do you think people is gonna be buying your shirt with the chain with the bag? I'm like, babe, we're not advocating going to prison. We trying to change the narrative of, see, that's the thing is, like, people see it and the first thing they go, oh, I ain't advocating that he's going to prison. No, change the narrative of oh, he's a successful guy that he's been to prison, but look at what he's got now. We're not promoting going to prison at all. We're just promoting that. Look what we've done after we've been to prison. We're not running away from prison. We're embracing our past. That's what we did. And that's what made us who we are today. Chain gang babies.
And that's not a problem.
EBC, ENT,
But
we all we got.
those below 18 years old, women, cars, and money, no. Okay. Just the 18 year.
Yeah. It's got a couple more mango seasons.
This is true. Very true. Well, again,
appreciate
thank you so much for being here, and good luck and many blessings for your future as entrepreneurs and business owners. And thank you so much.
Thank you. Mom, Dad, I love you.
Keep those smiles. You
Yes,
take
ma'am.
care. Thank
All
you.
right.